Gee whiz.
Hello, friends. I'm John Henderson. Welcome to this series of old-time radio show episodes called Gee Whiz. These are the stories of the schemes, trials, and loves of the typical American teenagers, Andy Hardy, Archie Andrews, and Henry Aldrich. Coming up, a character who was best known for films, but did have a radio show, Andy Hardy. But first, a character who did have films, but was best known for his radio show, Henry Aldrich. In 1943, there was the movie Henry Aldrich Swings It.
The school piano's pretty much of a wreck. It doesn't do justice to Miss Elliot, so I was thinking that maybe we could buy her a new one.
Yeah, but with what?
Well, with this band, I've already lined up some engagements for us.
Well, let's get on the beat.
Okay, let's hit that hot Chopin number.
Chopin, give the number a yank.
That's the worst noise I ever heard in my life. You call that music?
It's boogie-woogie, sir.
Boogie what?
Woogie.
Well, there'll be no more of it in this school.
Here's an episode of The Aldrich Family from April 28th, 1949.
And now the Jell-O family presents...
Henry Aldrich.
Coming, Mother.
Yes, it's the Aldrich family based on characters originated by Clifford Goldsmith and starring Ezra Stone as Henry with Jackie Kelk as Homer. And yes, it's the Jell-O family.
Oh, the big red letters stand for the Jell-O family. Oh, the big red letters stand for the Jell-O family. That's Jell-O.
Yum, yum, yum.
Jell-O puddings. Yum, yum, yum. Jell-O tapioca puddings. Yes, sirree.
And now for the Aldrich family. There's an old saying that goes something like this. Youth is so wonderful a thing, it's a shame to waste it on the young. But grown-ups can always recapture some of their teenage by reliving the experiences of a typical American boy like Henry Aldrich. The scene opens in Henry's room. The time is early afternoon.
But, Homer, how was I to know?
Henry, you're too impulsive, especially when it comes to girls.
But she was already sitting when I came over to your table.
You should have waited till she stood up.
Sure, that's easy enough to say now, Homer, but why didn't you say something when it would have done me some good, or why didn't Agnes say something?
How can you tell someone not to ask a girl for a date because you think she's bigger than he is?
Bigger? Boy, when she stood up to go, I thought I'd die. What if I had to dance with her? I'd have to hold her around the knees, practically.
Maybe you better break the date, Hen.
Yeah, maybe I'd better. But she's so pretty. Homer, did you happen to notice her eyes?
Probably.
What did you think of them?
How should I know? I'm not an optometrist.
I happen to think they were exceptionally attractive.
You do?
I certainly do. Their color, for instance. Sort of blue. Navy blue. And her eyelashes. Did you ever see eyelashes that long?
Sure.
Whose?
My aunt.
What?
You ought to see them, Hen. When she has them on, I mean.
Now, wait a minute, Homer. Are you insinuating that Helen's eyelashes come on and off?
I didn't insinuate anything, Hen.
Okay. And her lips, Homer. Did you happen to notice her lips?
I don't think so.
They're so cute.
Well, I'll tell you how I feel about lips, Hen. Personally, I'll take them not so cute, but low enough down so I can reach them.
Yeah. Homer, what do you think I ought to do?
Break the date.
No.
Then keep the date.
But she's too tall. Can't you think of something else?
What else is it?
I don't know.
Oh, let's see. What if...
What if what, Homer?
My father's derby.
What about it?
That'd give you at least 3 inches.
Sure. Well, what happens when I take it off?
You don't.
You mean I keep it on all evening?
My father wouldn't mind.
Listen, Homer, how would you like it if you were a girl and the fella kept his derby on all evening?
Okay. How about... No.
What? How about what?
I was going to suggest you go to a beauty parlor and get them to fix your hair so it stood up straight. That's silly.
Yeah.
Sure, it would never last all evening. Suppose...
What?
Suppose we planned the date so you never had to stand up all during it.
Huh?
Look, you phone Helen just before you're supposed to pick her up on Saturday and tell her it's going to be very crowded at the movie.
Yeah?
So you're going to hurry over there and hold 2 seats and she can meet you inside. Then you're already sitting when she gets there.
Sure. But how do we get out of the movie without her seeing me stand up, I mean?
Oh, let's see. When you see the part coming where you came in, you ask her what flavor ice cream she likes.
Uh-huh.
Suppose it's Caramel Delight.
Yeah?
You say that the Havens drugstore always runs out of Caramel Delight very early on Saturday night.
Yeah?
So you're going to rush over there and reserve some. By the time Helen gets there, you're sitting again.
I don't know, Homer.
Why not? So far, you're 2/3 through the date and she hasn't seen you at your full length once.
That's true. Although, actually, I'll be spending most of the date running away from her, won't I?
Not necessarily, Hen. Once you're sitting, there's no reason you can't sit as long as you want.
Yeah, I guess so.
Now all we've got to figure out is how to get her home with you sitting.
Well, I'll get it, Homer. You keep thinking. Hello?
Hello, Henry. Agnes.
Oh, hello, Agnes.
Guess what, Hen? My father had to buy 4 tickets for the charity dance at the club Saturday night, and he gave them all to me.
Oh, that's nice.
2 for Homer and me, and 2 for Helen and you.
A dance?
Uh-huh.
No, thanks, Agnes.
I don't think you understand, Hen. You don't have to pay for them.
Even so, Agnes. No, thanks.
Why not?
Because dancing requires you to... Never mind, Agnes. I'd just rather not.
What's the matter? You too good to dance for charity?
Well, Agnes, it isn't that. I'd just rather not dance with Helen, that's all.
Well, she'll certainly be interested in hearing that.
Oh, wait, Agnes, listen.
Why, is she going to love you?
Agnes, I didn't mean... Agnes, you don't understand... Agnes,
Yes, Henry?
thank you very much for the tickets. I'd love to go to the dance.
That's swell, Hen. You make the arrangements with Homer. We'll make a big night of it. Bye.
Goodbye.
Hey, Henry, I've got it all worked out. You're in the ice cream parlor, see?
We're going dancing.
Helen sees a friend at another table, so she turns around to wave to her in the minute of... Dancing? Henry, that's the worst thing in the world for you to be doing.
I know.
Well, for goodness sake, Helen, you don't have to snap my head off. But, Agnes, why did you have to make it dancing? That's the worst thing in the world, under the circumstances. I'm sorry, Helen, but it never occurred to me that Henry might be shorter than you. That's all I've worried about since we made the date. Then why did you make it? Well, he's sort of cute. Henry? Cute? Oh, my goodness, yes. Well, I guess that's what makes horse racing. What should I do, Agnes? You want me to call him and cancel the dance? No, he'll get why and hate me for it. Then let's just go and make the best of it. Oh, no, he'll hate me every minute he's dancing with me. Then what do you want me to do? I don't know. Oh, sometimes I wish I were a pygmy.
Well, tell me, Homer, what do you think?
Let me see you walk again.
Can you tell?
If I weren't with you while you had it done, Hen, I'd never know. How did you do it, Mr. Bridges?
Why, I just built his shoes up on the inside. How do they feel, Henry?
Pretty good, except that I feel I'm leaning forward all the time. Am I?
Just a little, Hen, about 10 degrees.
Well, that's because most of the build-up is in the heel. You'll get used to them.
I hope so. Are you sure you can't tell, Homer?
As soon as you straighten yourself out, you'll look perfectly natural, Hen. Lean back a little.
Like this?
Yeah, that... Oops, not too far.
Well, how much?
Come forward again. A little more. More. Hold it.
Okay.
How does he look to you now, Mr. Bridges?
Why, you look fine, Henry. Fine. In a few minutes, you'll feel as though you've been wearing them all your life.
Sure. Well, thanks a lot, Mr. Bridges. Goodbye.
Bye, Mr. Bridges.
Goodbye, boys.
How does it feel, Hen?
Very comfortable.
No, I mean up there.
Oh. I think this air's a little cleaner.
Yeah. No wonder tall people are healthier than short people.
Gee whiz, Homer, he only built them up an inch.
Well, you never... Hey, there's Agnes. Hey, Agnes! Wait a minute. Come on, Henry.
Homer, you won't say anything to her about you know what, will you?
Of course not. Gee whiz, what do you think I am, a cad?
Listen, Homer, you know I don't like to be kept waiting. Hi, Henry.
Hi, Agnes. Well, I'd better get home, Homer. See you later, kid.
Sure.
So long, Hen. Oh, what I wanted to talk to you about, Agnes, why are you looking at me like that?
You know something, Homer?
What?
I never before realized you were such a shrimp.
Huh?
Alice, do you know where Henry is?
Well, not exactly, Sam. He said he had a problem to work out, something about a charity.
Oh, that's nice. I'm glad to see he's getting interested in civic affairs.
By the way, dear, that reminds me, are we going to the charity dance at the club this Saturday?
Oh, let's not, Alice. I'm too tired.
My goodness, Sam, what's the matter with you lately? You haven't done a stitch of exercise in 2 months, I'd say.
That's not true. I played handball at the Y is it really 2 months?
At least. And, dear, you're beginning to bulge.
Bulge? Me? Where? Oh, besides, I'm not as young as I used to be.
That's exactly why you should be getting some exercise, dear. You know what happens to the human body as it grows older and isn't taken care of. It begins to sort of shrivel.
Nonsense, Alice. In the first place, I'm not that old yet. And in the second, what in the world would a horse be doing on our porch?
A horse? As a matter of fact, it does sound like a horse. Is that you, Henry?
Yes, Mother.
Excuse me, Alice. I'll speak to him.
Yes, dear. I'm right in the middle of my potatoes.
Henry, how many times do I have to tell you to take off your roller skates before coming into this house?
Skates, Father? I don't have any my skates on.
Oh. Well, what in the world was all that? Henry,
Yes, Father?
are you wearing your trouser belt a little higher these days?
Gee whiz, no.
Oh, it seemed to me... Oh.
May I go upstairs now?
What? Well, yes, certainly.
See you later.
Yes. Alice,
Yes, dear.
what were you just saying about a person shriveling up?
But, Father, why can't I have it done?
Because, Homer, there's nothing wrong with you as you are. Nothing that built-up shoes could help, that is.
But how would you like it if your girl called you a shrimp?
Now, dear, you just eat your spinach and you'll get taller.
Spinach isn't what made Henry tall.
Do as your mother told you, Homer. Eat your spinach.
But why can't I have my shoes built up?
Because spinach is cheaper than leather.
I don't like spinach.
It's good for you. Here, have some of mine.
Will, you eat your spinach, too.
Why? I'm tall enough.
Now, Will.
What do you mean by a statement like that?
Father, you're not so tall either.
What?
All the men in our family are shrimp.
Is that so?
Sure, look at Uncle Harry. He's a head and a half shorter than Aunt Amy.
Aunt Amy is an exceptionally tall woman.
Oh, do you really think so, Will?
What? Well, I'm a good 4 inches taller than Uncle Harry. Well, at least 3 inches. 2 inches?
Listen, Henry, how much longer are we going to wait for?
I saw her go into Agnes's house almost an hour ago. She's got to come out soon.
Okay. But what makes you think an inch isn't enough?
Well, I caught a glimpse of Helen at school today, standing next to Charlie Clark, and from where I was standing, she seemed about an inch taller than Charlie.
No kidding.
Sure. And a little later, I saw Charlie talking to Francine Lita. He looked about 2.5 inches taller than Francine.
That's who you should have made the date with.
Charlie?
No, Francine.
Well, she doesn't excite me. Anyway, just for the fun of it, I went over to talk to Francine. It seemed to me I was about 3 inches taller.
So
don't you see? If I'm 3 inches taller than Francine, who's 2.5 inches shorter than Charlie, who's an inch shorter than Helen, that still makes me about a ½ inch too short.
Oh. Well, in that case...
Here she comes. Hide in this doorway. Remember, as she passes that fence, make a mental picture of where she comes to on it.
Okay. The coast is clear, Hen.
Good, come on. Where'd she come to, Homer?
Right about here, I think.
That high? Seemed to me it was closer to down there.
No, it was up here, Hen.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's take a point halfway between your opinion and mine. That'll bring it to about right here.
Okay, I got it, Hen. Stand with your back to the fence.
Okay. Well?
Hen, what time does the shoemaker open in the morning?
The big red letters stand for the Jell-O family. Oh, the big red letters stand for the Jell-O family. That's Jell-O.
Yum, yum, yum.
Jell-O pudding. Yum, yum, yum. Jell-O tapioca pudding jamboree. Yes, there are desserts for everybody's family in the famous Jell-O family of yum-yum desserts. For instance, Pineapple Lime Delight, made with shimmering green lime Jell-O. Looks as fresh as spring itself. Just dissolve a package of lime Jell-O in 2 cups of hot canned pineapple juice and water. When slightly thickened, fold in 2 slices of diced canned pineapple together with 4 cut-up marshmallows. Yes, tempting, tangy lime Jell-O with pineapple and luscious marshmallows. Enjoy all 6 delicious Jell-O flavors: strawberry, raspberry, cherry, orange, lemon, and lime. All 6 rich with that locked-in goodness that's exclusive with Jell-O. Flavor so rich and satisfying, it reminds you of the real ripe fruit itself. That's Jell-O, America's favorite gelatin dessert. And now, getting back to the troubles of Henry Aldrich. Henry has been experiencing all sorts of difficulties trying to build himself up to the exact height of the girl he has a date with for a dance. So far, he's succeeded only in making Mr. Aldrich apparently shrivel. The scene is Agnes's house. The time is the following day.
But if you and Henry go to the church supper, Helen, I'll have to dance every dance with Home. I'm sorry, Agnes, but at a supper you sit.
Hello?
Hello, is this Henry Aldrich?
Speaking.
This is Helen, Henry.
Oh, pleased to meet... hello.
Henry, the church is having a supper this Sunday night.
Really?
Uh-huh. And I thought you might prefer going to that.
Why?
Well,
Oh, you mean...
yes.
Well, if you think...
Helen, wait. 1 minute, Henry. What is it, Agnes? Did you see what it says in the ad for the church supper? No, what? It's a buffet supper. You have to eat standing. Oh. And there's square dancing afterwards. Oh, my. Hello, Henry? You don't really want to go to the church supper, do you?
Up, 2, 3, 4. Down, 2, 3, 4.
But,
Up,
dear.
2, 3,
All
4.
day at the gym, and now these weights at home.
I thought you wanted me to exercise.
Well, yes, but not as a full-time job.
2, 3, 4. Up, 2. Oh,
So what happened?
I think something gave.
Sam Aldrich, that's enough for today.
Maybe you're right, Alice. Do I look any less shriveled?
Much, dear.
Well, I feel a lot better. Would you mind helping me to the couch? I think I'll lie down.
Hi, Mrs. Aldrich.
In here, Homer.
How are you, Mr. Aldrich?
Great.
That's nice. Where's Henry?
In his room, dear.
Thanks. See you later, Mr. Aldrich.
I'll be right here, Homer, flat on my back.
Hi, Hen.
Hi, Homer.
I ran over as soon as I got your message. Boy, Mr. Bridges certainly went to town on your shoes this time.
He added another sole and double heel.
Oh, boy.
Only I don't think I'm tall enough yet.
What?
Listen, Homer, Helen phoned me a little while ago.
What for?
I think she's worried, too.
Yeah? Well, what'd you want me for?
Well, I figure I'll know exactly how much buildup I need if I can get someone to find out her exact height.
Oh, no, Hen, not me.
Homer, let's go downtown and have a soda. On me. And I'll tell you just what I have in mind.
Well, okay. Well, you think you've got troubles. Look at me, if you can see that far down.
Listen, Homer, being this high up has its disadvantages, too.
Like what?
Like doorknobs, for instance.
What about doorknobs?
I keep missing them. Overshooting.
No kidding.
Sure. It's going to be even worse with this new build-up on top of the old build-up.
Gee.
Now, just relax, Sam. Try to rest.
Hello, Mother. Hi, Father.
Hello, Henry. Oh, my.
Father, what's the matter?
Sam!
Up, 2, 3, 4. Down, 2, 3, 4.
Agnes, are you sure you don't mind lending me your eyelashes for Saturday?
Of course not. Hi, Agnes.
Wow.
Oh, hello, Helen.
Hello, Homer.
What do you want? I just happened to be passing by, and I didn't know you had company, Agnes.
Well, now you know.
Yeah.
And what we're talking about is strictly private.
I think I better go. Well, so long. Boy, that's a beautiful pin you have on, Helen.
Oh, thank you, Homer.
Can I see it? I was thinking of buying one.
Let him see it, Helen.
For my mother.
Goodbye, Homer.
Goodbye.
So long.
So long.
Homer.
Yes, Agnes?
Say it.
By the way, Helen, have you heard about the newest dance they're doing? The girl stands up.
Homer, let go
And
of
the
me.
boy stands with his back to the girl like this and turns his head all the way around as far as...
Homer. March.
I'm going, Agnes. I'm going. Stop pushing.
Well, hello there, Will.
Hello, Sam.
What are you doing sitting here on a fire hydrant? Waiting for a bus?
No, I just had my shoes. My feet hurt a bit. I thought I'd sit down and rest a while.
Oh. Well, come on. I'll walk you home. The exercise will do us both good.
Sure. Let's go.
As a matter of fact, talking about exercise, you know you're leaning forward a bit, Will?
I am. How's that?
That's better. Talking about exercise, Will, I noticed that...
What's the matter, Sam? Why are you looking at me like that?
Nothing.
Oh. By the way, Sam, I think there's a speck of dust down there on the top of your hat.
Oh, there is? I don't see it.
Well, maybe it just looked like it from up here.
Oh. Well, do you mind walking home by yourself?
Why? Where are you going, Sam?
Back to the gym.
Can't you walk a little faster, Hen? The girls are waiting.
I'd like to see you walk down steps any faster on stilts, practically.
Maybe you shouldn't have put on 2 pair of sweat socks, Hen. Maybe the 3 cardboard inner soles would have been enough.
Maybe. Who measured himself against Helen and said I needed another inch? Boy, my ankles are killing me.
There. Is it easier on level ground, Hen?
A little. Mother, we're going.
Dear, are you sure your father said you could have the car?
Positive.
What exactly did he say?
Nothing. He just looked up at me and handed over the keys.
Oh, well, have a nice time, boys. Henry, the phone's probably for you.
Oh, thank you. Hello?
Henry?
Yes, Father, hold it. I'll get Mother.
No, Henry, I want to speak to you.
Hurry, Hen. Agnes will kill me.
What is it, Father?
I want you to come and get me.
What? Where are you?
Down at the Y.
All the way down there? Father, how about taking a bus home? The girls are waiting for us.
Girls can wait, Henry. They don't have sprained backs.
Do you, Father?
In 3 places.
Well, how about a taxi?
Henry.
Or an ambulance?
Henry, this is partly your fault.
My fault? In what way, Father?
Never mind. Just come down and pick me up.
Yes, Father.
for me to pick up you and Helen, and he'd meet us here at the dance.
Well, where is he?
I don't know. Should have been here by now.
You better come soon. Look at poor Helen. She's been sitting there since we got here.
Yeah. By the way, Agnes, what happened to her?
What do you mean?
Well, she doesn't seem to be as high up as she used to.
Oh, that. Homer, can you keep a secret?
You know me, Agnes.
Yeah, but I'll tell you anyway. Well, you see, Helen thought Henry was too short for her, so she's wearing her hair as flat as possible and the lowest heel she could find.
Oh, boy. But Henry spent the whole week building up his shoes so he'd be tall enough for Helen.
No kidding.
Sure. He's going to tower over her now.
Homer.
Oh, hello, Marv.
Someone wants to see you outside.
Me?
That's right.
Excuse me, Agnes.
With pleasure. Excuse me, Marv. I gotta speak to Helen.
Homer. Over here, behind the bush.
Henry, what's the matter?
Listen, Homer, a terrible thing just happened.
What?
Well, I was downtown helping my father into the car, see?
Yeah?
And in the struggle, my foot got caught on the running board and one of my heels came off. Just look at me.
Henry, you've shrunk.
Completely.
Couldn't you put it back on?
No. It rolled down the sewer.
Boy, that's great.
Homer, I thought you were a pal.
You don't understand, Hen. Helen's much smaller now.
What?
She's wearing her head in shoes flat.
Really?
Sure, you'll be just right for her now.
Oh, boy.
Homer, where are you?
Coming, Agnes. Look who's here.
Henry, well, am I glad to see... Homer, I thought you told me he was...
He was, but now he isn't.
Come on, let's go in. I'm dying to dance. Where's Helen?
Oh, boy.
Agnes, what's the matter?
Homer, you told... So I told Helen...
And what?
She went home to get her high-heeled shoes again.
Well, gee whiz.
Dancer, and you want to know something else?
What, Agnes?
Where'd I get the idea you were shrimp? Tonight you seem lots taller.
I do?
Yes, and lots stronger, too, Homer, old kid. What a man.
Gee whiz, I am?
Sure. Now when you step on my feet, I can feel it.
Well, ladies, there's one time when appearances are never deceiving. That's when you serve colorful, shimmering Jell-O for dessert. Because Jell-O, with that tempting fruit-like goodness, always tastes as good as it looks. In any of those 6 delicious flavors, strawberry, raspberry, cherry, orange, lemon, or lime, every Jell-O flavor is a special treat in itself, rich with that famous locked-in goodness. Flavor sealed right in by a special process, so it can't get out till your first delectable spoonful. Look for it on your grocer's dessert shelf tomorrow. Look for those big red letters on the box. Those big red letters stand for the Jell-O family of yum-yum desserts.
Won a plaque.
A plaque? No kidding.
Sure. Go ahead, Hen, read it.
The Downey Donut Award. Presented to Ezra Stone as Henry Aldrich as the boy who typifies the nation's ideal teenage donut dunker. Boy, that's swell.
The only thing is, Hen.
What?
Don't I get anything?
Sure, Homer. You get to carry it.
The Aldrich Family, starring Ezra Stone as Henry with Jackie Telk as Homer, is written by Frank Tarloff with music by Jack Miller. Mr. and Mrs. Aldrich are House Jameson and Catherine Roth. And this is Dan Seymour in New York saying, the Aldrich Family is brought to you by the Jell-O family.
Oh, the big red letters stand for the Jell-O family. Oh, the big red letters stand for the Jell-O family. That's Jell-O.
Yum, yum, yum.
Jell-O puddings. Yum, yum, yum. Jell-O tapioca puddings. Yes, sirree.
New as a square egg. Amazing, the only one of its kind. That's Minute Rice. Minute Rice for magically quick meals. You've never tasted such true rice flavor. You've never seen rice so light, white, and fluffy. And all you do is drop it in water and bring to a boil. No washing, rinsing, draining, or steaming. Minute Rice is quicker to fix than potatoes. You'll want to use it in all sorts of combinations for quick meals. Remember the name Minute. Minute Rice in the red, white, and blue box.
That was the Aldrich family from 1949, and now we go to Mickey Rooney's most famous character, Andy Hardy. In 1939, there was the movie Andy Hardy Gets Spring Fever.
I'm trying to ask you to marry me. It's kind of an important step to take, I know. I never thought about marrying anybody before. Never asked anybody before either.
Don't you think there's quite a difference in your ages?
Well, I'm pretty near 17. That makes me really almost 21. And well, she's only 23, and that makes her just like being just a little beyond 21. After all, what's the fuss over just a year's difference? Man's not altogether to blame when he finds he's developing into a sensitive type.
Here's an episode of the radio show from 12 years later, and yet he's still playing a youngster. It's the Hardy family from April 10th, 1951.
From Hollywood, here's Mickey Rooney, Louis Stone, and Fay Holden in The Hardy Family. We're proud to present The Hardy Family, based on the famous Metro Goldwyn Mayer motion picture series, which brought delight to millions and reflected the common joys and tribulations of the average American family. And now, here are the same great stars and the parts they created on the screen: Louis Stone, Mickey Rooney, and Fay Holden, The Hardy Family. Explodes through the front door of the Hardy home like a long-range shell, whistles through the living room, and comes to rest at the dining room table with a burst of flack. Judge and Ma Hardy call this Operation Feedbag.
What time does your watch say, Emily?
5:59 3/4.
Yeah, mine's the same. Well, Andrew will be hitting that front door in 15 seconds.
Shall we run to the cellar tonight, dear?
No, let's stay here and brave it out. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0 hour.
I'm home! I'm home!
A direct hit.
You're looking at the protector of people, champion of justice, enforcer of the law, defender of life and public safety.
Oh, James, he's Mr. District Attorney.
Mom, listen, dear. One of Carville's biggest outfits just hired me as a private eye.
Oh, but, dear, why didn't they hire the rest of you?
Well, Emily, it's somewhat unbelievable, but I think Andrew means he has become a detective.
That's right, Dad.
Oh, now, Andy, couldn't you find a steady job, dear?
Steady job, Mom? This is a steady job.
Now, Andy, I listen to Sam Spade and Nick Carter and Nero Wolfe on the radio all the time.
Yeah.
And they never work over half an hour every week.
Well, look, dear, in the first place, I'm not going to be that kind of private eye. I won't exactly solve any cases, you see. I'll try to smell out the crime before it happens.
Oh, I see. You'll be more of a private nose.
No, Dad, look, I'm going to work for the Carville Union Warehouse as a night guard.
A night guard, dear?
Yeah, I walk through the warehouse with a flashlight and gun and look around to see if everything is all right.
Oh, you mean you're really a private looker?
I only look around every hour. The rest of the time, I just sort of sit in an office, that's all.
Oh, now I understand, dear. You're a private sitter.
My gosh, you folks make jokes, and I thought you'd be so proud of me.
Oh, Andrew.
Yes, I did.
Very pleased indeed. But after all, you know, you're only a night watchman.
Only a night watchman. Only a night watchman. Dad, did you ever hear of the case of the $2 million warehouse fur robbery?
I don't seem to recall that, no.
Single-handed night watchman John Henderson captured 8 crooks in their armored car. Armored car, and he only had a flashlight and a measly little penknife on him.
Well, that's amazing.
Yeah.
When did this happen?
In the last issue of Ghastly Detective Stories.
Oh, yes.
Do you really feel that you have the qualifications to hold down a job like this?
Certainly I do. Certainly. No criminal is a match for me with this trusty cannon at my side and this brilliant head on my shoulders.
That's what worries me.
What do you mean, Dad? What worries?
Well, I can just see the headlines some morning. Night watchman Andrew Hardy fires at fleeing crooks with trusty cannon. Misses. Puts hole through own brilliant head.
Oh, my, isn't that exciting? James, just imagine Andy having his name in the papers.
Well, son, I wish you all the luck in the world in this spine-tingling new job.
Oh, thank you, Dad. Thank you, sir.
Tell me, when do you start?
At midnight this very night. I don't suppose you care to come down some night and watch the changing of the gods?
Well, that might be very interesting.
I just hope you don't arrive in the middle of some blazing gunplay, that's all.
What in the world is stored in the place?
Nothing. It's been empty for a week. Struck 3, Beezy.
No, I mean the other sound.
Oh, kid, it's this old warehouse. That's all. Just creaks a little at night. That's all. Just creaks.
A little. This place should get a steady job with a couple of vampires.
Now, relax, will you please relax? The Eye is here to protect you. I'm glad you came down to sit with me on my first night, too, kid.
Yeah, it's been real keen fun. You like to sit in graveyards?
Oh, keep talking. Helps me stay awake, boy.
Stay awake?
Mm-hmm.
My gosh, I thought you said you were worried about sleeping.
I am. I can't go to sleep on this job, you know.
But I thought you meant you wanted to go to sleep.
Certainly not. I'm not going to go to sleep.
Want a bet?
What do you mean?
You know that coffee I went out to get you a few minutes ago?
Yeah?
I put 3 sleeping pills in it.
That's very nice. Well, you knothead. Look, Beezy, do something. Slap me, knock me around, and keep me awake. Beezy, keep me awake. Beezy, keep me awake.
I can't.
Why?
I put 3 in mine, too.
Close your mouth, kid. You're yawning.
I wish I was home in my nice, soft, warm bed.
Oh, shut up, will you, please? Cut it out. Will you, please? After all, Beezy, when you're on a job like... Wake up, will you, Anderson?
Morning already? Oh, hi, Andy. I guess I dropped off for a minute.
Holy cats, leave it to you to mess up a job like this.
Yeah, I'm just not cut out for this work. Now, I gotta hand it to you for taking a job like this, Andy. It's cold and dark and spooky down here. Boy, I'd go nuts after one night at a job of this kind. Why? Andy, don't wake up!
Where am I, Anderson? Where am I?
In a mausoleum.
Don't talk like that. This place is creepy enough without making it worse.
Here comes the werewolf again.
I'm going home! No, listen, don't let a little noise like that bother you. It'll be daylight pretty soon.
Yeah, and I want to be around to see it. This place is a chamber of horror.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, it creaks and groans like it was haunted.
Beezy, look, you can't go home,
I'll
kid.
see you tomorrow, Andy. I know you won't mind staying here alone because, like you say, there's no such things as ghosts and spooks that go around at night.
Of course not.
Oh, no.
Sure.
There's criminals with guns and madmen with...
Get out! Get out! Get out! Get out! What a coward. Afraid of a big, empty, dark place like this because it has a few moans. And it creeps. Shut up, Hardy, you big jerk. Who's there? Who's there? Who's there? Speak up! Speak up! I'll throw a scare into whoever it is. Scared by my own voice. I gotta relax, be confident. I got a gun, haven't I? Certainly. Good old gat. Yeah, you stand by me, won't you, baby, huh? You'll get... Here, put him up! Only a cat. Oh, my nerves are all on edge. Gotta loosen up, take it easy. It's no use. What a horrible situation. Too drugged to stay awake. And too scared to go to sleep.
Come take a look at what I found in the office this morning.
What is it, Joe?
My gosh, an open manhole. No, it's a mouth. And I think there's a man behind it.
Who is he?
I don't know. Must be that new guard they put on the graveyard shift. Kid named Hardy.
You know, it kind of gives you a feeling of security to know we got a man like that on the job, huh?
Yeah. Well, let's get him up. We got a big consignment coming in today. Hey, Hardy, 8 o'clock, rise and shine. Didn't budge him. Wait, I got a better idea. Okay, you mugs, back the trucks up. We're cleaning out this warehouse and heading for the border.
Oh, good night. This guy looks like an ad for knockout drops.
Yeah, I tell you what, let's fire his gun. That ought to do it.
That's a good idea. Stand back.
He couldn't be dead and make a noise like that, could he?
I never saw anybody sleep that hard. What are we going to do with him?
Well, we could turn him into the lost and found.
You know, Joe, I hate the suggestion. It's a low-down, dirty trick, but...
Go ahead. I like it already.
Well, what do you say we carry him down the street and dump him in that vacant lot?
Oh, that's murder. Yeah, he'll wake up and wonder what in places hit him.
Well, look, you grab his legs and I'll take his arm.
All right.
All right, now, careful. I don't want to wake him up now.
Oh, boy, I'd give a day's pay to see the expression on his face about an hour from now.
He'll have to go some to beat the one that's on his face now.
Mom, Dad, are you up?
Yes, dear, we're right in here having breakfast.
Why, wait till you hear what happened.
Well, you mean you had some excitement on your new job already?
Excitement, Dad. The biggest crime wave in years has broken out.
Crime wave?
It's amazing. You won't believe it when I tell you. Believe me.
No, we won't, dear, but tell us anyway.
Well, look, Mom, about 4 o'clock this morning, I dropped off to sleep in the warehouse.
Andrew, you went to sleep on the job?
Well, Beezy doped me. But I couldn't have handled these guys anyway.
What guys, dear?
The most daring, the most clever crooks of all time.
Good heavens, you mean someone broke into the warehouse while you were asleep?
Worse than that, Dad. When I woke up, I was lying on cold, buried ground.
Oh.
Right out in the open.
Oh, goodness. And what happened?
The biggest robbery in history, that's what.
Robbery? You mean they stole something from the warehouse?
From the warehouse? Dad, they stole the warehouse.
In a moment, the Hardy family will return. But first, a word from your announcer. Now back to the Hardy Family, starring Mickey Rooney, Louis Stone, and Fay Holden. If ever a man was destined to become a great criminologist, a famous G-man, or an outstanding chief of police, Andy Hardy is obviously not that man.
Dad,
Yes, Andrew?
you happen to have any fingerprint dusting powder around the house?
Fingerprint dusting. Well, now, you know, son, that's strange.
It is? Why?
Yes, I was just thinking this morning. I've got to remember to get a fresh box of fingerprint dusting powder.
Oh, Dad, please, look. Oh.
You know, it just seems to disappear around here, just like embalming fluid. Never can keep enough embalming fluid in the house, either.
I only asked for a simple bit of fingerprint dusting powder, that's all.
Oh, Andy, dear, there's some dusty fingerprints on the piano, if they'll help.
Sweetheart, look, you don't seem to understand. I'm faced with a terrific, baffling mystery.
And Andrew, there was no mystery. You know now that the warehouse wasn't stolen.
Oh, that's not the point. I was.
Oh, dear, there's nothing to worry about. You found yourself.
Well, look, darling, you don't understand. Somebody must have carried me out of that warehouse and put me in that vacant lot. It's obvious somebody was trying to get me out of the way.
Well, I'd say it's pretty obvious they certainly succeeded.
They dragged me out, threw me in the lot, and then went back to rob the warehouse.
Yeah. I'll bet they were surprised when they found it empty.
They probably miscalculated. A big consignment just came in today. Yeah, that's what they were after.
But they didn't get it, dear.
It's all clear now. Don't you see? They'll be back. If I could only get someone to come to the warehouse with me tonight. Oh, I'd like to set a trap.
Oh, yes, I imagine that old place must be full of mice.
No, honey, I mean a trap for the crooks. They'll be back. Criminal always returns to the scene of his crime, believe me.
But there was no crime.
Dad, there's going to be. Believe me, there is going to be. If I could just sit at the desk again tonight and pretend to be asleep, if somebody else were to hide behind the office door...
Well, dear, maybe B.T. Anderson would do it.
Anderson, he wouldn't come within a mile of the place.
Well, now, don't look at me.
Huh?
I intend to get a good night's sleep.
Mom?
Oh, my goodness. Oh, I'd simply die if I saw a real criminal.
Well, there's only one other person I could hope to get. Polly Benedict.
Well, son, I hope you know what you're doing.
Don't worry about me, Dad, but just in case I'm not home by 10 o'clock tomorrow morning...
Yes, dear?
Bring a pillow and blanket out to the vacant lot. It gets pretty cold out there. Mom, Dad, the case is all wrapped up.
What's that?
Yes.
Well, Andrew, you mean that you've mastered the mystery already?
Oh, I don't monkey around with a thing when I really go to work on it, Dad, believe me.
Oh, I think that's wonderful. How did you manage it, dear?
Sit down a minute while I dictate my report on the case of the vanishing warehouse.
Dictate?
Yes, certainly. A private eye always makes out a report.
Oh, can you take shorthand, Emily?
Oh, no, dear. No. Can you?
No, I'm afraid not.
Well, maybe if Andy could speak in shorthand, I could take it down in longhand.
Never mind, Mom. I'll give you the report anyway.
That's good. Now, let's have it.
Private investigator Andrew Hardy, license number 4615-342-64917.
Yeah?
852-65315-97-
Okay.
910 Jack Queen King.
Well, that sounds like the roll call at San Quentin.
Well, as I was about to say, I left the house here and started for Polly B.
Oh, James, isn't that an exciting report?
Darling, sweetheart, I'm just starting out on the report.
Oh, I'm sorry, dear.
I was in a completely new world outside our house. It was entirely different from being inside the house.
Oh, James, isn't that weird?
That's positively spooky.
The dense fog got wrapped around me like a blanket.
Fog? When?
Oh, James, there's always a fog.
Somewhere out in that pea soup, a mournful boat whistle sounded. Yeah, it was spine-tingling.
I imagine it was, when you consider there isn't any water within 200 miles of here.
Groping blindly, I found my way to Polly's house. I rang the doorbell. Said door opened. I'll never forget the shock I got at that moment. There was a short circuit in the doorbell, you see. Standing in the doorway was... Who do you suppose?
A banshee?
Christopher Columbus.
Ah.
A leprechaun?
Admiral Dewey?
Uh-uh.
Well, now it's your turn again, Emily.
It was Polly.
That's unbelievable.
Yes, Polly.
Imagine Polly Benedict being at Polly Benedict's house. Amazing.
It was beautiful. So happy, gay, and alive with living. I felt like I was defacing a beautiful painting, but I had to tell her I was on a mission of danger, that death might be lurking just around every corner. I'll never forget how she smiled bravely and said ever so sweetly to me.
Honestly, Andy, I think you're a screwball.
Look, sweetheart. I'm in this thing deep. Up to my neck, understand?
Well, that certainly isn't very deep.
Listen, sweetheart, we gotta move. We gotta move fast. You want to work on this case with me or not?
Well, what do you want me to do?
Just hide behind the door of the warehouse office for a few hours, that's all.
A few hours?
And keep your Roscoe ready for action.
Roscoe who?
Your gat, woman, your gat.
Oh.
When the crooks come in the room, you jump on them from behind and it's all over.
You mean I'm all over?
It's a cinch. I got it figured right down to the second.
And what will you be doing all this time?
I, little lady, will be sleeping at the desk. She put a coat over his solid gold evening gown and we hurried out to my car. I turned the key in the ignition, stepped on the starter, and felt the surge of smooth power. As the motor caught and we glided quietly into the fog. In a few minutes, we pulled up in front of the old warehouse. It was deathly quiet, sweethearts. Nothing seemed to move, sweethearts, but it was very still and ominous, sweethearts. This was it. It was now or never. If the crooks came back tonight and I caught them, the case would be solved forever.
The case would be cracked, dear.
Yeah, cracked.
Yeah, I completely agree with the cracked idea.
Well, here's the way I figured it. If I didn't catch the crooks, I only had two things to worry about. Either they'd never come back or they'd try again next month. If they didn't come back, I had nothing to worry about. If they did come back, I'd try to catch them. If I caught them, the case would be cracked. If I didn't catch them, I only had two things to worry about. Either they'd never come back or they'd come back next month. Or...
Well, just let me know when you get to October. My vacation comes up then.
We approached the door of said warehouse office. Just midnight. Time for me to report on the job. If the thieves were going to strike, it'd be soon. Then I saw him. Every muscle in my body froze. The back of my neck crept up toward the top of my head.
Oh, Andy, dear, didn't I push your hair down over your eyes?
Andrew, take a short cut. Yeah. Who was the man?
Oh, the man. The other night, Watchman. He was just going home.
He had a close call. I almost shot him myself.
Then Polly and I headed for the warehouse office.
Andy, don't cross the sidewalk. I have a feeling something horrible, something unnatural is waiting there in the dark.
Sweetheart, we can't turn back now. It's it or us.
Oh, Andy, please. Please don't go that way.
I laughed at the foolish child. I thought she was simply hysterical. Then it happened. I must have fallen 2 miles down that manhole. My whole life passed before my eyes. You know, it'd make a wonderful Technicolor picture, too. Finally, I hit bottom with a thud. Then I was being lifted on a peppermint stick. Giant candid cameras flew past, popping the flash bulbs and clicking the shutters. Up and up I went into a raspberry gelatin sky, and then I saw it. I saw it. My little pink cotton cloud number 6 7/8. And that horrible grinning little man was there, laughing. I loathed him, that monster. That monster! My alter ego!
Walter who, dear?
The alter ego, Emily. That's his other self.
Yes.
I don't understand this part of it. Andy, dear, come back, my little pink cloud, and climb up out of that manhole.
Yeah, my head was splitting. A million stars were exploding all around me. And that fiendish little gnome kept laughing.
James, isn't that funny?
Suddenly, I crashed back to Earth.
You'll get the bins.
Climbed out of said manhole, and the whole solution to the mystery came to me in just a flash.
That's fine. Now, may we have it in a flash also?
Period, end of report, period, dash, semicolon, period, stop, end of report.
End of report? You haven't solved anything yet.
Certainly I did. I washed the case up in 2 minutes.
But how, dear?
But how? Easy, I just walked up to the boss this morning and quit.
In a moment, the Hardy family will return. Now, here again is the Hardy family.
Dad, what would you say if I told you I was going into a sensational new business?
Well, Andrew, I wouldn't say a word. I'd be speechless.
Yes.
But, Andy, you've got another job already?
Yeah, I ran into a guy who's planning to open a new office in Carville. He gave me his phone number and told me to call him this evening.
Well, what little venture are you interested in this time? Swiss Alp climbing?
No, not Swiss Alp climbing, Dad. This job is just tailor-made for me.
Well, as I recall it, you were just perfect for that night watchman's job, too.
That wasn't right for me, I know. I'm no good at guarding things. I'm better at losing things.
Yeah, that's right, dear. James, you remember just last week he lost his watch and his wallet?
That's right. So I'm going into the losing business.
The losing business?
Yeah, I'm going to sell floater policies for an insurance company. You know, we pay off if you happen to lose something.
Well, that sounds wonderful for you, dear.
Well, it does sound like work more suited to your talents.
I think you ought to call the man right away.
I would, except for one thing.
What's that?
I lost his phone number.
Holden is based on characters created by Aurania Ruberol. This program was written by Jameson Brewer. Direction is by Joe Bigelow. Original music was composed and conducted by Jerry Fielding. Supporting cast included Eleanor Cannon, Dick Crenna, Peter Leeds, and Jerry Hausner. Herb Allen speaking.
That was The Hardy Family from 1951, and now one more episode of The Aldrich Family. This is much earlier, and it's a fun episode, but the sound quality is not perfect. From April 27th, 1944.
The Aldrich Family, a special rebroadcast for you soldiers, sailors, and Marines of the United Nations. A typical teenage boy like Henry Aldrich lives in a world all his own. A world of impulses, hectic activity, and honest enthusiasm. And grown-ups always welcome the opportunity of re-entering that wonderful world. The scene opens in the Aldrich living room. The time is Saturday afternoon.
But, Henry, don't you see my point of view? You had no right to do a thing like that. But, Mary, Charlie Clark's a nice guy. He's really a swell guy. He's really very good looking. How can you tell? His hair's always falling down over the front of his face. Not when he goes out at night, it isn't. He has some stuff he puts on his hair that... Boy, it makes it stiff as a board. Well, let me warn you, Henry. If Charlie Clark comes over here tonight, I won't even see him. Why not? Because, Henry, you had no right making any such statement for me. Mary, is it necessary for you and Henry to talk quite so loud? But I'm not talking loud, but you know what Henry did to me. You know what he did to me. What did he do? He sold me to Charlie Clark for a baseball. Mother, I assure you the baseball had nothing to do with it. And besides, Mary, do you realize how hard a thing like that is to get these days?
Mary, I always thought Charlie Clark was a very nice boy.
Oh, Charlie Clark? Mother, he's perfectly all right as a little playmate for Henry, but to spend an evening with him. Mary, may I ask whatever gave you the conception that Charlie Clark is my little playmate? Hi, Henry. Hi, Homer. Are you here? Homer, you'll have to wait until I get Mary straightened out.
Dear, I don't want to hear any more about this. Now, please go outside with Homer and play ball.
Yes, Mother, I'll go. Only Charlie Clark thinks she has a date for tonight.
You made it with him, Henry. You're the one who'll have to keep it with him.
Let's see that ball I hear Charlie gave you. It's right here in the hall closet, Homer. Boy, are you lucky you haven't got a sister. You're crazy, Henry. Don't you realize I'm the only person around my house my family can pick on? Where's the ball? It's up on the shelf, I think. Henry, why don't you have some light in this closet? We don't need any light. She was everyone in the family knows exactly where everything is. Oh, gee whiz. Hey, Henry, what was that you just knocked off the shelf? Oh, boy. Listen, Mark, stand back while I try to find out. Yes, I can make out. It's sort of a box. And there are a lot of little loose things that came out of it. Oh, gee whiz, I just stepped on one, whatever it is. And it's sort of soft and squashy. Henry, is it my imagination or do I smell chocolate? Chocolate? Homer, it couldn't be chocolate. You're crazy, Henry. It's chocolate, all right. And a boy. Oh, boy. Oh, can you imagine that? And they're good, too, aren't they? Look out, Henry. Let me get down there on the floor with you. Now, wait a minute, Homer. Let's not eat the whole works. Don't you realize this box must belong to someone? Not necessarily. Maybe somebody put it up there and forgot it. 10 years ago. You think so? Well, they don't taste as though they were 10 years old. You mean you're eating another? Homer, come on and help me. They're all over this floor. Well, where's the box? We'll find it. I've got the lid right here in my hand. And look, save all the little papers. The little papers? Sure. Don't you feel them? There's a little paper cut for each piece. Oh, yes. Is that what I just swallowed? Oh, boy. What, Mary?
I want to tell you something.
Well, don't bother looking for me, Mary. I'm on my way into you.
I'm right here in the living room. Henry, may I ask what it is you're eating?
Why? Eating? Well, I'm just running my tongue over my teeth, Mary.
Well, what I started to say was one reason I don't want Charlie Clark around tonight is because Joe Graham is coming over.
Joe Graham? You'd rather see Joe Graham than a kind, generous guy like Charlie?
And you realize Joe Graham is just as generous as he can be? He even sent me a beautiful box of candy yesterday. A beautiful 2-pound box.
He did? Joe Graham gave you... Oh, isn't that nice? Where is it?
That happens to be none of your business, Henry Aldrich. I put it away very carefully in a place where you can't possibly come across it.
Oh, well, I'm certainly sorry. Goodbye.
Where are you going?
No place in particular. I just have a little cleaning up. I mean, a few things that... I'm sorry I said what I said about Joe.
Hey, Henry, come here and help me.
I'm coming home, and not so loud.
What do you think we ought to do, Henry? I've got the bottom tray filled. There's still a couple of hundred chocolates left over.
Listen, well, are you still eating them?
We've got to do something with them, Henry. There isn't going to be room in the box.
There has to be, Homer. And we've got to arrange it very neatly.
Listen, Henry, there's somebody coming.
Oh, where?
Oh, Alice, have you seen that ring?
Oh, boy. Listen, Homer, why did you close the door for?
Why do you think so your father wouldn't see it?
But, Homer, there's no knob on this side.
You mean we can't get out?
Gee whiz, we may be in here... Oh, boy, nobody knows how long we may be in here.
Well, at least, Henry, we won't starve.
Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Hello, is Mary Aldrich there?
Oh, Joe, is that you?
No, this is Charlie.
Oh.
Charlie Clark. Mary, did you hear me? This is your friend, Charlie Clark.
Yes, well, just a minute and I'll call Henry.
But I don't want to speak to Henry, Mary. I want to speak to you. This is Charlie Clark. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Oh, gee, Mary, I thought you ditched me.
This is Mrs. Aldrich, Charlie. We don't seem to be able to find Henry.
But, Mrs. Aldrich, I gave Henry a baseball... I mean, it's your daughter, Mary, I want.
Mary? Why, Mary's looking for Henry, Charlie.
She is? Well, look, maybe you could tell me what time I'm supposed to come over tonight.
Oh, well, I'm not sure, but I think Mary's busy tonight.
Sure, with me.
Really?
Well, sure, didn't Henry tell her?
Well, Charlie, I think the safest thing for us to do is to have Henry phone you later in the day.
Henry? Not Mary?
I'll tell Henry you called him.
Oh. Well, thanks very much. Homer, you haven't gone to sleep, have you?
No, of course I haven't gone to sleep. I just feel sort of funny.
Have you found all the chocolates over on your part of the floor?
Some of them. I'm stuffing them right in the box over here.
But, Homer, I've got the box over here.
You have? Well, what's this I've been putting them in? Now, listen.
What's the matter?
It's somebody's shoe.
Now, listen, Homer.
I'll pour them out.
hell are we going to have a flashlight?
Sure. I even found a couple of chocolates inside this umbrella. Homer, keep quiet. Keep quiet. I hear footsteps.
Somebody coming?
Quick, Homer. It's my father. Let's put the box up on the shelf.
Okay. You put it up. I think I better move quick.
Well, there. Sit way back in the closet. If my father opens the door, he may not notice us.
Sure. Just don't move. Oh, Henry, get your foot off my stomach. Things are bad enough.
Quiet.
Yes, darling, I heard you, but first I want to get something out of it. Henry, what are you and Homer doing here in this closet?
Oh, hello, Father. Hello, Mr. Aldrich.
May I ask why you're sitting there doing absolutely nothing?
Why, we were just trying to see how long we could hold our breath, Mr. Aldrich.
Well, get up. You're both entirely too old to be wasting your time doing that.
Yes, Father.
And please get out of the way. I want to find an old pair of shoes of mine.
Yes, Mr. Aldrich. Come on, Henry. Oh, boy.
I'm coming.
Homer, is there anything the matter with you?
No, Mr. Aldrich. I'll be all right, I think.
Homer, as soon as he gets out of there, we've got to go back and pick up the rest.
Henry, may I ask where you've been for the last half hour?
Why, we're just... We're at Mary.
Mrs. Aldrich, we're looking for a flashlight.
Yes, we need a flashlight, Mother. And Mary, have you seen one?
Henry, I'm not even speaking to you.
Do I, Mary?
And I just want to tell you, if you hadn't done what you did, I would have let you and Homer have some of the candy Joe Graham gave me. But as it is, you're not even going to see it.
Oh, we're not?
Oh, gee whiz, Henry. You want to see what I just found in the cuff of my pants?
What is it, Homer?
Nothing. It's just...
Homer, is it in pretty good condition?
Well, to be frank, Henry, we better just leave it where it is.
Henry, have you cleaned up that mess yet?
That mess? That mess?
Oh, boy.
You know very well what I'm talking about. That model airplane you left all over the floor of your room.
Oh, is that all?
Is that all? Henry, what's gotten into you?
Nothing, Mother, nothing.
Mrs. Aldrich, haven't you any ideas to where we find the flashlight?
Homer, Henry does not need any flashlight to straighten things up.
He doesn't.
Come on, Homer.
Henry, which mess do you want me to work on?
You step with me, Homer.
Mother, would you like to have me go get you a piece of that candy Joe brought me?
Yeah, I certainly hope you haven't opened it.
Oh, no, Mother. I was very careful to hide it out in the hall closet.
In the hall closet? Your father is always poking around in that closet, and you know how he is when he gets hold of a box of candy.
Well, my goodness, I'll get it out right away.
You can find a place in the dining room to hide it.
All right.
Mary, look. There it is, right out on the top shelf where everyone can see it.
Isn't that strange? I thought I put it right back in there. Mother, let's open it. Let's take one piece.
Now, dear, don't even take the cover off that box. Why not hide it in the dining room and open it when Joe Graham comes to see?
All right, maybe I will. Then you can see how nice it looks.
Hello there, Mr. Aldrich.
Well, hello there, Charlie. How are you this afternoon?
I'm fine. Could I speak to Mary, please?
You want Mary? Mary!
Yes, Homer?
Charlie Clark's here to see you. Mary? Mary!
Does she hear you, Mr. Aldrich?
Well, I thought she asked you when I first called. Step inside and we'll try to locate her.
Okay.
Mary!
Did I hear her then, Mr. Aldrich?
I don't believe you did. How would you like to see Henry? Henry!
Oh, I don't want to see him necessarily, Mr. Aldrich.
What, Father? Charlie Clark is anxious to see you.
No, I guess you didn't understand me, Mr. Aldrich. I said I don't give a darn about seeing him.
Father, you...
Oh, hello, Charlie. Are you here? Yeah.
Who is it, Henry? Who is... Oh, gee whiz. Hello, Charlie.
Hello.
Anyway, Charlie's here to see Mary. See whether you can find her.
Now, Father, Henry, I want to ask her what time I'm to come over tonight. And every time I call, they give me your mother and start looking for you.
Well, listen, Charlie. Right this minute, Homer and I are very busy trying to find a flashlight.
Oh, you want a flashlight? Well, why didn't you tell me?
You mean you've got one?
Sure, right here on my key ring. Sort of small, though.
Well, what difference does that make? A flashlight's a flashlight, isn't it? Let me have it.
Here. Come on, Homer. Let's see what we can dig up in the closet. You gonna dig something up, fellas? Can I watch you?
Wait a second. Charlie, how do you work this?
I can't. The battery's dead.
Listen, Charlie, are you trying to be funny?
Well, I'll locate a battery someday. The war isn't gonna last forever. What are you gonna do with that table lamp, Henry?
I'm just gonna take it to the front hall closet for something.
But how about Mary? Ken, you hear me, Henry? How about Mary?
Here, Henry. Here's a floor plug, right near the closet door. Look, it lights up the whole closet.
Henry, would I be bothering you now if I asked a simple statement?
Gee, Homer, look at them.
They're all over the floor.
Oh, you know, we didn't get even half of them.
What are those little black things you're picking up, fellas?
Listen, Henry, I'll hold them in my hands and you do the picking up.
Well, I'll hold your hands bigger. Fellas?
Father, has Charlie Clark gone yet?
Oh, boy. No, Mary, I'm still here. Wait a minute. Where are you? Oh, gee whiz. Now, listen, Charlie. What'd you take that lamp for? I'm all right. Mary, wait a minute. Mary, where are you?
Listen, Henry, what am I going to do with these 2 handfuls of chocolate? Reach me down in the box.
I'm going to pick up this lamp first.
All
front door?
Where are you, Alice? In the living room?
Come on, let's get into the dining room before she gets near the straw.
But, Henry, what am I going to do with these chocolates?
Put them in your pocket.
You're crazy. Isn't there a dish here in the dining room?
Here, put them in there.
Quick, hurry up. Boy, am I glad to get rid of those.
Now, Homer, don't wipe your hands on the tablecloth.
I'm not. I was just feeling it to see what kind of material it is.
Look out while I shove the dishes of chocolates behind the fruit bowl.
Do you think anyone will see them?
No, how can they?
Is Charlie talking here?
No, Mary. Are you looking for him?
No, I'm trying to get away from him. He followed me out to the kitchen, and I went out the back door, and now I just came in the front door.
Mary, is that you in the dining room?
Yes, Father, not so loud.
Charlie Clark was looking for you. Did he find you?
Father, please.
Homer, what do you have on your hand?
Why, they're... Boy, they look just as though I'd been in a mud puddle, don't they?
You better go up and watch them.
Yes, Mr. Aldrich. Come on, Henry. Okay.
And if you see your mother up there, tell her your Aunt Harriet is waiting to see her in the living room.
Father, what are you limping for?
Limping? Oh, there seems to be something wrong with one of my shoes.
You mean it's not
I had a pair of shoes in the hall closet, and maybe my imagination, but I think there's something down in the toe of one.
Really? Why don't you take it out?
Oh, it's probably just the lining or something. It's soft and it gives when I walk.
Were you calling me?
Yes, Alice. Harriet's waiting to see you in the living room.
She is? Harriet, I'll be right in there. Harry, where did this come from? What is it, Mother?
This piece of candy behind the fruit.
Now, dear, you didn't go and open that box Joe Graham gave you, did you? No, Mother, don't you remember? I hid it right here in the buffet.
Mary, I didn't put this here.
You didn't?
Dear, you don't suppose your Aunt Harriet brought it, do you?
You think she might have?
Why, of course she did. She's always carrying little paper bags of candy around with her.
Won't you have a piece? Oh, Mary. My goodness, Mother, Charlie's closing in on me.
Mary, you can't keep running away from
Well, I'm not going to stay here and talk to him.
Oh, Mary. Oh, Miss Aldrich, have you seen Mary?
Have I seen Mary, Charlie?
Oh, or is it Henry you want to see?
Isn't it funny I can't make that clear to anyone?
It's Mary I want.
Here, dear, will you have a chocolate?
Well, thanks. I don't mind if I do.
Mother, have you any idea where Homer and I'll find a flashlight?
Flashlight, Henry? What did you want it for?
For no particular reason. We just... Mrs. Aldrich, what is that you got like this?
Candy, Homer. Will you have a piece?
Candy. Candy?
Yes, dear. Go ahead and take one.
Well, Homer, I don't think you ought to touch it.
That's true. Mrs. Aldrich, they look so nice, Nancy. Don't you think you ought to just leave them?
Sure, until night when maybe it's better. Well, Mrs. Aldrich, as long as they aren't having any, may I have theirs?
Listen, Charlie, after we've been down on our hands and knees, I mean...
Here, Charlie. And perhaps I'd better take these into Henry's Aunt Harriet while there's still a few left.
Henry, what do you think?
What about Homer?
Those are going to leave an awful big hole, Henry. Don't you think we ought to try to get them away from your mother?
Homer, let's call what she just took into the living room so much water under the dam and go on from there.
Well, listen, fellas, where did Mary go? Henry, what are you looking on the sideboard for?
Somewhere in this house, Homer, there's a flashlight. Oh, boy.
Let's see, Henry.
What have you found, fellas? Can you imagine that?
Listen, fellas, what have you found?
Charlie, I want you to do something for me. You go up to my room.
Yeah?
And you sit there until we come up.
And then you're going to fix me up with Mary?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, but don't forget me.
We won't forget you, Charlie. Homer, take a look at what I dug up in the sideboard.
What is it?
Another box of candy. And look, it's exactly like the one we spilled.
Henry, we're all fixed. We just take this into the hall closet and put some of these into Mary's box. Come on.
Do you think that'll be all right?
Well, you don't want to rob your own sister, do you? And as long as you don't know who these belong to.
Okay. And wait a second while I open the closet door.
Okay. Only where did you leave Mary's box?
Right up there on the top shelf. Wait a minute, I'll boost you up.
Okay, boost.
Hurry up, Homer.
Henry, it isn't here.
Homer, stop kicking me.
Look out.
Hey, Homer, get out.
Oh, boy.
Where's the box of chocolate?
Under me, darn it.
We'll be back with the Aldrich family in just a moment. Right now it's intermission, and time for our intermission guest, the one and only Tommy Dorsey. Okay, Tommy.
Bésame mucho. Each time I cling to your kiss, I hear music divine. Bésame mucho. Hold me, my darling, say that you'll always be mine. This joy is something new, my arms enfolding you. Never knew this thrill before. Whoever thought I'd be holding you close to me, whispering at you I adore. Dearest one, if you should leave me, each little dream would take wing and my life would be through. Bésame mucho. Love me forever and make all my dreams come true.
Now getting back to the troubles of Henry Aldrich. Henry accidentally spilled a box of Mary's chocolates in the hall closet. Later, without realizing it was the same box, he found one in the dining room buffet and was about to place it in the hall closet when Homer fell on it. The scene opens an hour later in DeHaven's drugstore.
Oh, Mr. DeHaven. Mr. DeHaven.
Yes, Henry, something I can do for you?
How much are those boxes of chocolates there?
The 2-pound box, that's $1.50.
$1.50, Mr. DeHaven? As much as that?
Well, here's a 1-pound box for 80 cents.
The only trouble is it has to be the kind Homer fell on. I mean, Mr. DeHaven, you couldn't trust me for $1.50, could you?
Well, it isn't that I don't trust you, Henry, but if you'd like me to, I could call your mother and ask her if it's all right to charge it to her.
Oh, no, don't bother my mother about a thing like this. Mr. DeHaven, you don't have any chocolates at all like those in that box for less than $1.50.
No, Homer.
Well, Mr. DeHaven, do you have anything that would be good for removing chocolate creams like those in that box from trousers?
Oh, Homer, you want a spot remover?
Yes, only first, how much is it?
Well, we have pretty good cleaner here for 25 cents.
Nothing less than that?
No, I'm sorry.
Well, do you have anything that would be good for an unsettled stomach resulting from chocolate creams like those in that box?
Oh, you'd like some bicarb?
Well, how much is it?
$1.
You haven't got anything that would settle me for a nickel?
Well, I could give you a little fizzy water free.
Oh, okay, let's try that first before I throw my money away.
Hey, fellas, where have you been?
Gee whiz, it's Charlie Clark.
I waited up in your room for you for an hour, Henry. Did you forget me? Don't forget, I gave you that baseball.
Charlie, we had to come out here to see about some candy.
Oh. Mr. DeHaven, do you have any hair oil that smells nice? And say, fellas, does Mary like candy?
What's that, Charlie? Would you like to buy Mary a box of candy?
Sure.
Sure, Charlie. And how would you like to have us deliver it for you?
Oh, no, we can't do that. Look, Mr. DeHaven, how much are those boxes over there?
This kind here?
Charlie, that isn't the kind she likes.
Now, listen, Homer, I'm not going to have any part of this.
Henry, don't you want to save your own life? Charlie, come here.
Now, wait a minute, Charlie. Don't listen to
Let
him.
go of him, Henry. You let go of him yourself.
Oh, wait a minute, fellas. Wait a minute.
Mother, have you any idea as to what may have become of her?
Mary, I haven't the slightest idea.
Has Aunt Harriet gone?
Yes, dear, she just left.
Mother, do you think she might have taken my box of chocolates?
No, dear. Your Aunt Harriet is not in the habit of taking candy that doesn't belong to her.
Well, then I guess that he's just 3 people that might have taken it.
And who are they?
Either Henry or Homer or Charlie Clark or possibly all 3.
Now, Mary, that isn't exactly fair.
You probably intended to put the box of candy in the sideboard and absent-mindedly put it some other place.
That's why it's not in his soap upstairs.
Any soap, Sam?
Yes, Alice, I'd like to wash my hands.
My goodness, Father, what is that you have all over your hands?
Why, nothing, Mary. It just seems to be chocolate.
Chocolate?
I think it's chocolate.
Sam, how did you get chocolate on you?
I have no idea. I happened to look at my hand a little while ago, and it was all chocolate. After all, is that important? Where will I find a piece of soap?
Dear, I don't think I've ever been so mad at you in my life.
Mad at me? What have I done?
Sam, you know what you've done. You know very well what you've done.
Father, do you think he did?
Alice, all I want is a cake of soap.
Father, I can't believe it. I should have known, Mary, that your father couldn't be trusted with a box of candy in the house. He never could be. Let him have one piece, and he loses all control and all character. Harriet, I thought you'd gone.
Well, don't bother. I just slipped back into the hall closet and got Mom's out I left here last week.
Oh, did you almost forget it again?
Well, don't bother to come out on the porch with me. It's just starting to rain.
And, Harriet, you want me to hold your pocketbook while you put it up?
No, thank you. I can put it up.
Oh, my goodness, what's going on me? Mother, look. Chocolate. Aunt Harriet, where did you get those? Oh, where are they coming from? Mother, is dinner almost ready? It won't be ready for another 10 minutes, Mary, at least.
Well, Mother, I don't like to seem to rush you, but Joe's in the living room, and he keeps asking whether I got the box of candy and whether I left it. Mother, if we could only try eating, maybe we could get his mind off the subject.
Mary, all I can say is I'll get it just as soon as I can. Now go back into the living room and visit with it.
Yes, Mother, I'll go, but
Mother. Oh, Henry, is that you?
Yes, Mother, I am Homer.
Henry, have you seen a box of candy anywhere around here?
A box of candy? Have I seen it?
Dear, please run upstairs and get washed for dinner right away. And, Homer, you better go home so you won't be late for your dinner.
But, Mrs. Aldrich, Henry wants to ask you something.
Look, Mother, can I go over to Homer's for dinner so I won't be here this evening?
Now, Henry Joe Graham's here, and you'll want to visit with him. Please go up and get washed.
But, Mother!
Henry, you should have let Charlie get her that box.
But, Homer, I couldn't let him. It would have been a dirty trick. Then he has a dope.
Who's that?
I don't know. Somebody at the door here.
Hi, Henry. Is Mary here?
Listen, Charlie, what are you doing with that box of candy?
None of your business. Let me in.
But, Charlie!
Let me in, do you hear me? Mary, are you here?
Listen, Charlie, I'm advising you. I'm begging you. Don't give Mary that box of candy.
I'm not taking any advice from you, Henry. I gave you a baseball, and you don't even want to fix me up with your sister. Hey, Mary! Mary!
Yes, is that somebody calling me?
Hi, Mary. Here, take it.
What's this?
It's a box of candy.
Charlie Clark, I should have known all the time you took it.
But what?
Mary, he didn't take it. What do you mean he didn't take it? Here it is right here. Thank you, Charlie. Thank you very much. Now, please go.
You mean you're mad at me?
Mad at you? I could kill you. Please leave this house.
Well, gee whiz.
So, do you hear me? Go.
Well, I'm going, only
Wait a minute, Charlie. Here's your baseball. I feel it's the least I can do for you.
This is the Armed Forces Radio Service.
Thanks for listening to Gee Whiz. I'm John Henderson. If you'd like to learn more about me, check out thisdaybenny.com.